Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to another week of The Vessels in Between. If it's your first time here, my name is Destiny. I am a lesbian tarot reading witch,
And I'm Heidi, a bilingual psychic medium.
and we love all things metaphysics. We love all things spooky. We love all things paranormal. We love all things divination and kind of everything in between.
Yeah,
No pun intended.
I love it.
And in that category also goes paranormal investigations. Heidi and I have just been recently getting together to start doing paranormal investigations in our community, and we
Hmm.
got the chance to go to this insane antique shop. It's been an experience like none other,
Hmm.
and I have been just waiting to finally record about
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Woo!
Did you ever think that you would be participating in that sort of thing in paranormal investigations?
No, fuck no. I am
Hmm.
so much cooler than I ever anticipated being when I was a kid. I would always watch like um all the paranormal shows that
Hmm.
were like on cable TV when
Hmm.
I was a kid, when my parents weren't home. My sisters have horror stories of me forcing them out of the living room because I wanted to watch my ghost shows.
Right.
And now I'm one of them. And you
You
mean that
know what?
I'm real? I'm
Yeah.
not just fucking around with props. This isn't
Yeah.
pretend for views. This is real shit.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I
And I
feel
think
so cool.
I was gonna say, I think that that's what, for me, that's what separates, in my opinion, that's what separates us in this sort of like not only because of what we do, right? Like being intuitives and doing mediumship and things like that, but because we are also using, in addition to that, we're using tools. But it's not just relying on those tools. It's getting into it, and also we're not hunting ghosts.
Yeah.
We're connecting with spirits
Yeah, we
who,
don't make them go away. We don't believe in like helping spirits move on. They don't
unless they
need,
want to,
yeah,
but
if they want to, they can do that by themselves.
yeah. And so, um, some might need like reminders, or not need reminders, would like reminders, right? Like,
Sure.
oh, I am capable of doing this, but it's not our job, where they're like waiting for someone to help them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And you know what? My favorite type of connection that we do is without any tools. It's just when
Hmm.
we both do our own independent meditation and then we go back and talk about it.
Those are
And
wild.
it's
Yes.
everything that we both saw. We both saw the same thing. That
Hmm.
is always crazy to me. And that's always like the most undeniable experience.
Yeah. And I will say, one of those things that for me, and I think I've said this before, where if you meet somebody, like a spiritualist, some type of, person that does this, and they are like, I know everything. I know everything. You can trust me because I have all the answers. I would not trust them.
Yeah,
Um,
seriously.
because the thing is that I feel like although I have experienced things and I believe those things, I'm also uh human, right? Where I don't know all the answers. And so through these paranormal investigations, I feel like I've even grown more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I feel
Yeah.
like I've grown in the ability to trust myself a lot more because like I'm saying, like you said, like we are directly experiencing it, we're experiencing it together and we're experiencing the same thing.
Hmm.
And that's a crazy thing to have happen.
Yeah. I think for me too, I I always, as a child, this would be a big dream, right? But because of the fear I had, um, I know that back then I was like, yeah, this is really cool, but I would never be able to do that. And so being able to rewatch because we have some footage and the shop owners also have really cool footage that they got. Um and we're putting them all together. So to be able to see us do that, I'm like, you don't who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
No.
No, you're gonna
Not
call my
anymore.
names.
Not
I
anymore.
Not anymore. I freaking loved it. I will say, and I've said this to you already, I did severely underestimate the energetic zoo
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that the antique mall was.
Yeah.
I was thinking it's just gonna be like a little shop with like a little shop ghost, and we're just gonna have the conversation with the one or two people.
And I had been there before, so I had an idea, and so I didn't think that oh, Destiny hasn't been there before. This is a place, it's a wonderful place to visit. You can lose track of time in the sense of there's so many things to look at.
And they're all so freaking cute.
They are.
Oh,
I did buy more than the book.
yeah,
Um,
I bet you did. So when I walked in there, I was like initially like shocked. It was dark outside, so it was already kind of that creepy vibe. And let me be clear, just because I'm a medium and just because I'm well versed in this doesn't mean that I don't get a little weirded out.
uh-huh.
Okay, because I'm still a human.
Yeah.
And that quick and heavy of an energetic shift will draw anybody's attention.
I was gonna say it'll wake you up real quick.
It'll wake you up. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
so true. So it was dark outside and it wasn't dark in there yet. And Heidi was like introducing me to the staff that was going to be like there with us.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "So we're going to like turn off the lights." And she's like, "Is that okay?" And
Uh-huh.
I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, well, do you want them on though? Like, we can leave them on, but we just like normally turn them off at this time."
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
like, there's just like a few ambient lights. So
Mm-hmm.
I just pulled it together and I was like, "Yeah, that's no big deal. Turn the lights off. I'll walk around here in pitch black."
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. My what's funny is that my worry wasn't necessarily I mean, yes, the I can't really see in the dark already. Like
Oh yeah.
I wake up in the middle of the night and I don't know what's wrong with my eyes. I can't see really well in the dark.
No, that's Melissa too. Like, I'll have an ambient light on, and she's like, "I can't see. Turn the lights
Yes.
on." And I always make fun of her for it because I love being in the dark.
Yeah, and that's even like if I have a little I always have my
Me
flashlight from the
too.
cell phone because otherwise I will bump into things.
Yeah.
And so that is what I was worried about with the antique mall there is I was like I'm going to run into something, I'm going to break something. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
going to be dark, but then it was surprisingly okay.
It was okay. Like went around, she showed us the spots where there's like been a lot of activity. So we first like went down to this hallway and she was like, "Yeah, there's activity like in the bathroom. Some people hear like the towels going off. They hear what else? The books flying off the
The
shelf."
books fly off.
And she started talking about how the service bell would like ring at the front desk
Yes.
and this vase, a mirror
Yeah,
flipped, knocked a vase over.
we're gonna share that footage because the owners are amazing. You all should definitely visit. They had, I think it was within the first year that they owned the shop, but it's this amazing, undeniable. undeniable footage of spirit. Like
Undeniable.
really, because it's not just from one angle, it's from the other angle too. And there's nothing there to make this mirror that weighs a ton move in that way.
No, there's literally nothing.
But yeah, you were saying we were being guided around.
We're being guided around. And then it just came time to set up shop.
Hmm.
Heidi brought a whole suitcase of things. What did you bring?
Oh man, it's funny. It's like right here. So I brought a lot of things. And what it is I brought some of the things that I know that other paranormal investigators have brought. So, like a blindfold, headphones to be able to connect with the spirit box, to do what's called the Estes method. And the Estes method is essentially somebody has headphones on while the spirit box is going, and then the person without the headphones is asking questions, and the person listening is just saying what they hear, and usually it's tends to be an unintelligent, you know, um, source, and it makes sense with the conversation that they're having. But then I also had a little bell if they want to make their presence known. I brought my pendulum and so many other, like there's like just regular equipment to hold up cameras and things like that. But can I tell you that I got some more things? And do you want to see?
Yes, I want to see it. I want to hear about
It's
this.
really funny though. I don't know what investigators have this equipment. So, I was at the thrift store before my doctor's appointment today, and I was like, I really want to find something that's not $300 to test whether spirit is present, or not test, to ask them to interact with, right? Um, and I saw this thing from my childhood, and I was like, oh my God, I picked it up and I was like, this is perfect. Um,
Oh my God. He's so
so this, I
cute.
don't know if some people recognize it, millennials, maybe older millennials, but this little guy, like it's like balance, and then the slightest touch makes him, any kind of
Like
movement make,
wobble. It's like a
yeah,
little
but do you
wobbly
hear the
egg.
sound? Do you not hear
No.
the sound? Do you not hear it?
No.
That's weird.
Hold it to the microphone. I do not hear him.
That's so weird. It's a little like it's gentle, and that's the thing that I
What
need
does it sound
too.
like? Do a demonstration.
I don't know how to imitate it. Bling, bling, bling. That's the worst.
That
The
was the best
worst.
part of the episode.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Embarrassing.
I cannot wait to come to your house and hear that in person. I
That's
need
so weird that you
to.
can't hear it. I
I
don't know
cannot
why.
hear it at all.
That's funny. Well, okay, so I have two more things. And technically three, but the other one's not here right now. I also found, I was in the toy section for too long. Um, this is the Great Wolf Lodge wand,
Okay.
because beside the swim, beside water park, they have a magic, like a scavenger hunt or something. So it's motion activated. And so this, instead of having a flashlight, if they want to interact with
Oh, oh my God. We love a thrifty witch.
yes. And then the last thing that I was like, I think I'm just gonna stare at this during meditation is I think we can use this, but I'm not sure.
Oh, like it's a plasma ball?
Yes.
That's true. You should just try it out. Try it out at home.
Yeah.
Get your
So I'm
mom
not
on the
sure.
line.
I know. Mom, can you say hi to me? That'd be cool. What
Uh,
I guess it's like, well, what I guess you would see one that's stronger, right? Because this
yeah.
will go and it's a
Yeah.
lot stronger when somebody touches it. Anyway, I was hypnotized by this earlier, so I'll
No,
have to
that's
turn it off.
incredible. That's an incredible find. How much was that?
This was 2.99.
2.99 for that plasma ball?
Yes.
Damn, girl.
That's what the checkout person was saying. They're like, "Is this what I think it is?" And I was like, "It is. I've been looking for it for a while." So,
Wow, congratulations on that find. That's a good one.
thank you. Anyway, so that's going to be part of our equipment.
Yes, I can't wait to use it.
Yeah.
Anyway, where do we leave off? You get all your equipment. You have the
Mm-hmm.
EMF detector, you have the bell, you have the app. I have a pendulum, a tarot deck, and a couple oracle decks.
Oh, but you can't forget what we did first was the offerings, or were the offerings.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. That's what
That's
we brought those too.
I feel like that's what also is different. We're coming into somebody's home. We're coming into
Yeah.
somebody's space and we're like, "Hey, if you want to talk to us, talk to us. If you don't, that's fine. But here's some
Here's a
what
little
did you
something,
bring?"
something. I brought cinnamon incense, a
Mm-hmm.
cinnamon broom, and I brought an herb blend.
Yeah,
I made a little herb blend and I gave it and told them
that's
to
right.
put it wherever they feel like needs it most.
That's right.
And then Heidi forgot an offering, so she ended up offering up her trail mix because Spirit told her to.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing. And I don't think I was recording at that time. I don't think I got the audio, but you'll see me setting up the trail mix and I was getting things out of the car, getting ready to go into the building, and I was like, "Oh no, I forgot to bring an offering." And then I heard, "You got some trail mix there though." And I was like, "I do." And so I took the trail mix bag and that was one of or was my offering to them.
Yes, they took it. It was perfect.
Yeah.
She led us eventually to this like music room with all these instruments, and I didn't bring my guitar to this
Hmm.
place initially. Again, underestimated. And they ended up having some classical guitars out, and I asked if I could use one, and they said yes. So I did. I lit my incense, I laid all my stuff out, and I we started to conjure, I
Yeah,
guess.
I was gonna say we did a
Oh,
little conjuring.
we did a little conjuring.
Hmm.
We started with the old-fashioned organic way of mediumship. I was singing to spirit, mostly humming and just like visualizing a conversation with them. And initially, my this is my first interaction with spirit there
Hmm.
that night. I saw this man, middle-aged, running fast away from me. And so I caught up with him and asked him what he was running from, why he was running, where he's going. I just interrogated the poor guy
Hmm. Hmm.
because he was running so fast and so far. And he ended up telling me that he feels like he's not worthy of like reconciling what he had done on earth. Like he's not worthy of grace, he's not worthy of forgiveness, he's not worthy of being able to like meet the gates of what he would consider heaven or like alignment or whatever
Hmm.
divinity. And we just had this really like deep and heart-wrenching conversation about him being worthy. And I ended up singing out loud to him because it was just so real.
Yeah.
And so like in my face, there's no way that I could have let that moment slip by without that. And I always say to people who don't believe and who think that this is a little crazy is like the worst thing you can be is crazy, the best thing you can be is directly connected. And I'd
Hmm.
rather run the risk of being crazy and help uh
Hmm.
spirits or any fraction of divine or intersect with the doubt that still continues beyond our life here. Doubt and shame definitely still continue into the afterlife. I'd rather take the risk and be a bridge than
Right.
run the risk of missing that opportunity.
Right.
Um, and we meditated for about 30 minutes. We
Hmm.
opened our eyes, and then Heidi told me what she saw. What did you see?
Well, first, what I'd like to say about your singing is I can understand why you were a worship leader. Um, it was crazy because I music moves you, and I believe that music moves every living being, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's, I mean, we know plants enjoy music. They seem to speak in this sort of, you know, melody or when sounds, but I felt like I was like in it too. There were moments I felt like I was hearing Open Your Eyes. And then the Open Your Eyes part, and you'll probably see some of it where I'm like looking around because I don't really know where I'm supposed to look. But I felt like it was showing me straight ahead, like straight ahead. And I didn't realize that down that way, straight ahead, is a mirror. I thought it was a continuation of the hall or walkway because it was so far, but it's a mirror. And later, actually today, I went and looked, and there is Native American like pieces in there. And so I kind of wondered, like, I want to connect with it later and see what else, you know?
Yeah.
Because I felt like what I saw was a group of people that who came up to that glass case. And so there was so much energy that it was kind of like working at Starbucks. Like, oh my God, the rush came in,
Yeah.
you know? And it wasn't scary, it was just overwhelming. And so I saw this older gentleman, um and I felt like it was interesting the way he was dressed because he was like wearing this beat up like tank top kind of shirt, but then he had like a bowler's hat on. And it reminded me of, you know, I Love Lucy, Fred, like Fred, but like in not his nice clothing, in his like in the clothing he wears underneath. And then I saw a little girl come up, and I was like, "Oh, wow. Okay. Hey." But I think it was someone else who was trying to be scary to me. They made themselves big and scary, and I would like, you know, got myself standing straight or sitting up straight in my chair and made myself bigger too. And called on deities who I work with, just like, hey, can you have my back? And it felt like they had, and then that whoever that was kind of shrank down to the child again. Um, and went back behind the group. That's what I saw at first. And then I saw people dancing to your music.
Hmm.
It was very lovely. And then the part that you said where you were singing to or having a conversation with him, I felt like that little girl came back to the front and was getting emotional. So again, in my experience, the things or the people who have made themselves big and scary often seem misunderstood.
Hmm.
And so for me, it was, I think that they were connecting to what you were saying to this person over here. And so I just saw tears, tears, and release, I guess, is the word that came to my mind.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like. It was a very emotional time for
Yeah.
sure. After we did that, we moved on to the bathroom hallway, which is a well-known main hotspot.
Hmm.
I feel like it was the main point of focus.
Oh, yeah. And we picked out books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we walked down there, though, girl, I was shitting my pants. It was just
It's
dark and
good
it
that the
was
bathroom
so
was right there.
for real. It was so dark, like you couldn't even see the end of the hallway. You couldn't see the start of the hallway. You couldn't see the bookshelf. Looking down the hallway, down the aisle, you couldn't see anything. So
Hmm.
you're literally just walking into darkness. Now,
Darkness.
shout out to
Yeah.
Heidi for bringing flashlights because I did not have a flashlight, but that little flashlight fucking held me down that whole
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
Okay. And I walked in and it felt crazy. I don't know what other word to use except for crazy.
Yeah.
That time in that hallway was the time that stuck with me the most and the longest after I
I
left.
I wonder why. Like, have you dissected that a little bit?
Well, I felt like there were people like running behind me and
Hmm.
that there were women watching me that were
Hmm.
not necessarily kind. It was
They're a
the
little bit judgy.
Yeah, but it was the
Hmm.
kind of like entity that like really made my stomach hurt a little bit. Like
Hmm.
I wouldn't be comfortable. They were the ones that when I walked out of the door, I was like, and you stay here and you stay here, and I wash you off while I'm in the shower and I sever every tie. Like
Yeah.
they were the ones that I was overly cautious about, were the
Yeah.
energies that I was feeling down
Hmm.
when we were in that hallway. Very
Hmm.
busy, very like inflammatory, like
Hmm.
wanting a reaction, you
Hmm.
know. Nonetheless, we stayed there. Heidi even went to the bathroom.
I did, but I was like, stay here. Please
Yeah.
don't go anywhere.
And then we
Um,
started cracking open the books that were on the bookshelf that's from where the books were flying off the shelf. So I maybe this is from my Christian upbringing, but I don't know if any Christian kids out there could relate when you're needing a word from God, you're needing inspiration, you're needing divine intervention. You just flip open your Bible and you point to a sentence, and that's supposed to be the divine guidance that you were supposed to receive in that moment,
mhm.
right? I still do that. I
Yeah. Yeah.
still do that. So I was doing that with the books on the bookshelf, and the first book I pulled out, it had said something about the stench of sweat and marijuana smoke. And if you've listened to the episodes before this, you know that I'm a stoner and that I do not ever go into anything paranormal or metaphysical really without smoking because it just
Hmm.
helps quiet my active mind and
Hmm.
lets me do what I need to do, right?
Hmm.
And so I was like, what? You don't like that I fucking smoked before I got here? You think I stink? That's
Yeah.
fair. Like,
Well,
I can understand.
and see, and the
I
thing
go to
that
church.
yes, and that's the vibe that I got because it being one of the places that it was before being a church and being like a Hispanic church too.
Yeah.
I grew up in those churches, and let me tell you, there are plenty of judgy ladies
Yeah.
who will look you up and down, and with that look, you're like, what did I do? Who, like, you start questioning yourself, and so that's,
Yeah.
I guess I was more familiar with that. And then you were like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was not a fan. But then I said something about like I feel like the Theas are all around me like judging me. And,
Yes,
and they were, girl.
they
And so
were.
I thought that was hilarious. Out of all the books I could have pulled out of the bookshelf and out of all the pages I landed on, I land on that page where it was like the first in the first sentence on the
It
top of the
was
page.
perfect. Yeah,
It's
it was
so
perfect.
funny. So that was automatically like confirmation to me, like, okay, we're connected. They're connected to
Hmm.
us. Like, we understand what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Um, I don't remember what were on the other pages, but they weren't as
They
significant.
weren't, yeah, they were like a little bit, but that first one was
Yeah,
amazing.
that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was so funny. And I always say, like, Spirit has a great sense of humor.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever communicated with a dead person before, guys, but they crack jokes like no other in the
They
most
really,
inappropriate times, in the most
yeah,
inappropriate ways.
they really
So
do.
that was just an example of that. We ended up leaving that area. We walked around a bit. We, felt a couple hot spots. And
Hmm.
then we looked at the security cameras because there was like
Oh yeah.
a big TV up at the front of the front register that had like six different camera views. And Heidi asked me, like, which one do you feel most hot, like
Hmm.
most active?
Hmm.
And we both say the same one. And we're like, okay, well, I guess we gotta look. We gotta look
Hmm.
around. We gotta look for this place. It had a bird cage behind a mannequin. And
Yeah.
that's what we were looking for. Those were our identifiers, right?
Yeah.
So we're walking around. We can't find it. Like, we walked around the main area. We can't find it.
Hmm.
We walk around to some other like hot spots. I feel a presence everywhere in this building. Like
Yeah.
it's impossible not to, right?
Yeah.
Like if we sat here and talked about every single area and that's where that we felt a presence in, we would be here for 5 hours,
Yes.
literally.
Yes.
It was dense in there. But there's this back room. So to explain to the audience what this antique shop looks like, it's a mall, so it's huge. It's
Yeah.
like the size of Target. I'm not
Hmm.
joking, right?
Yeah.
Or like a neighborhood Walmart, like a small Walmart, right?
Hmm.
Um, there is this like main open section where it's just as like any thrift store, right? Like it's all open, there's racks, there's like little stage setups in corners.
It's local vendors who have collected, who are selling there, and they all have a cute little setup of whatever they're selling.
Yes.
So, hmm.
And then towards the back of the store, there's this like doorway that's like two doorways wide.
Hmm.
And then it's like kind of closed off and you have to walk in there. Like I
Hmm.
would have thought that it was maybe like a lobby area or something. And
Hmm.
like the main room was like maybe the sanctuary or whatever. So,
Mm.
anyways, you walk into this room and then you look to the left. Mind you, there's no lights on in this
Hmm.
second part. Once you walk through that doorway, there is no lights at all. You're
Yeah.
on your own, sister.
Yeah.
You look to your left, there's a hallway and it's just like room after room after room after room after room, all connected. You just keep going through doorways.
It,
Scary. So there's this hallway of mystery consecutive rooms.
hmm.
And it takes some courage to walk even into the lobby, what we're going to
Hmm.
describe as the lobby, right?
Hmm.
But we did it. I was the line leader. I was proud of myself.
You
Okay.
were.
And here's the thing. If you're coming up against a scary spirit, you got to really make sure you truly don't feel scared and that you feel prepared. You feel
Yeah.
like you can take it on. And that's the state of mind I was in,
Hmm.
but my stomach was still hurting a little bit,
Hmm.
regardless, right? Anyway, we go into the first room. We're using the talker.
Yeah.
There's all these America themed things around the room. The talker says military, right?
Right. Right.
We're looking around the room. There's no military anything in the room, which I thought
Hmm.
was weird because there
Hmm.
was American flags and
Yeah, it
whatever.
was just like a American flag theme, like
Yeah,
little stuffed bears and yeah. Hmm.
yeah. So I thought that was weird. There was no military stuff. Then we walk to the next room. Boom. There's a portrait of a man in his military uniform on top of an armoire. Tall armoire, taller than me. Six, probably like 6'3" at least, right?
Smiling.
Smiling,
Very,
handsome guy.
yeah, very nice picture.
And I gesture to it and I say, "There's your military man." The talker says, "On top."
Top. Yeah.
What? Here's our guy. Would it be a sin?
It says top, Destiny.
Huh?
It says top.
No way.
It says literally, and I can't make it focus, but it says top. And
There he
you
is.
said there's our guy. Hello, sir.
Excuse me? What did it just say?
Yeah.
And we all know skepticism is healthy. I'm a little
Yeah.
skepticism of the app.
Mm-hmm.
The moment it said on top, my skepticism flew right out of my asshole. Literally, what did you just say? I was
Yeah.
shocked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was automatic confirmation for the military man.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up asking for her Diet Coke later, saying that he was parched, his throat was dry,
Right.
because his presence was so heavy, we felt like we needed to leave another offering for him, but we didn't have anything extra for him. So Heidi made a
We
joke
didn't.
saying, "Oh, I have my Diet Coke." And he said, "What, throat's dry or something?"
Yeah, like later on, he was like, my throat, like you haven't brought my soda. And I was like, I think you had set up something already that you were doing something else. And I was like, okay, we interrupted that to go get him the soda and bring it to,
Yeah, we needed to.
which, by the way, with my visit there today, I did bring him some more soda.
You did? He
I
probably
did.
loves that. That's so nice.
Yeah, yeah. So I asked later because I was like, I wonder how much the portrait, because I can't see the price and it's
Don't
on
ask me
top of the
later.
armoire. So I was like, we'll find out. But
No,
then
freaking
around the
expensive.
corner, you saw that frame with the military planes.
Well, yes, the fighter jets.
Remember, you were trying to take a picture.
Oh yeah. I was trying to
Yeah.
take a picture of these planes and my camera was glitching out. Like,
Hmm.
and my camera wasn't doing that to anything else, but it would not let me take a clear picture of these planes.
And then
So
my camera, my video camera, said all of a sudden I had just put an USD card in it. All of a sudden it was full and the camera just stopped recording.
they didn't want their pictures taken. They didn't sign a media release.
Right? And that's where you all will see that area is where those orbs came out from.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't shown Destiny yet. Hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So then we go to the next room,
Hmm.
the Coca-Cola room. I look on the shelf and there's a picture of this woman and it says haunted tintype. Nothing else in this whole store is labeled haunted.
Yeah.
That's not their specialty.
Yeah.
I see a picture of this lady, haunted tintype. I turn around, birdcage and mannequin directly behind me. You want
Hmm.
to talk about shitting your pants? That was my
And
moment.
listen, we were on the opposite side of the restrooms. So,
Now I'm far. Now we're gonna have a mess. That was crazy. I
yeah.
couldn't believe my eyes in front of me that I
Yeah.
was seeing that birdcage in that mannequin when I
Yeah.
had just acknowledged this haunted tintype.
Yeah.
The camera we thought was hot from the very beginning.
Hmm.
Ugh. Then the talker starts saying, he hurt me, trust problems. It starts
Hmm.
going off. Clear
Yeah.
narrative that she was
Yeah.
betrayed by this man.
Yeah.
So I get the tarot decks out. Heidi's camera starts fucking up. Heidi leaves me alone. I say, it's fine. Leave me here because I'm feeling brave.
Hmm.
I have a candle and I have the protection of God.
Yeah, right.
That's what
Hmm.
I got. And
Hmm.
a little bit of bravery.
Hmm.
Okay. I start doing tarot. Heidi's gone. Heidi leaves the talker with me.
Hmm.
Emperor reversed. Five of swords. Five of wands. Tower. All these cards. Five of pentacles, indicating exactly the story that the talker was telling us,
Hmm.
indicating this challenge, indicating this abuse of power, this crazy man. I
Right.
told the girl, I said, look, a man is never anything to be eternally worried about. All I gotta say is fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
That's right.
Fuck that
Oh
guy.
my
And I want you to hear me say it, and I want you to say it too.
God.
We
Hmm.
gotta move on from here.
Hmm.
Seriously. I
Yeah.
understand he did you wrong. It's okay to process it, but there is nothing to be upset about when you're in your grave.
Hmm.
Leave it behind. He's not
Yeah.
worth that. I don't care if he's the King of England.
Uh-huh.
Literally. And she starts saying she has trust issues. Literally, trust comes out like 5 or 6 times. And
Hmm.
then it came out in my Prism Oracle trust. And I was like, I know you have trust issues because of him. You don't need to trust anybody. It's fine. Go to the river, go to the mountains.
But there's so much to look at.
Yeah, maybe she was a shopper.
Yeah.
But don't be stuck there just because you're sad.
Hmm.
Visit every once in a while. So then Heidi comes back, I tell her everything, and then I just light my cinnamon broom on fire and we walk around the whole building again
Hmm.
and cleanse it and thank the spirits for chatting with us.
Well,
And
really quick, because you're forgetting a really cool, interesting part, we both used our pendulums.
oh yeah.
Because, as some people know, there's controversy around or skepticism around a lot of divination tools, right? Which is fine. With pendulums, one of the things is that what's influencing the pendulum are your own micro movements, right? Which I totally I totally believe when you are speaking maybe to like your higher self or your subconscious, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna know things, you just don't either want to know them or acknowledge them or but you know deep within you you know the answer, right? The question that the answer to the question that you're asking. And but then what I wanted to do this experiment where we were speaking to spirit and we were both holding our own individual pendulums to see if the same answer would come through. Because if it is influenced by our micro movements, why would they be giving the same answer? And so I believe that yes, it can be influenced by that, but it can also be influenced by spirit. So,
Yeah. And I think also the people that say that pendulum can be manipulated by micro movements have never used a pendulum.
right.
Because even if you hold the pendulum and you like intentionally like move your hand, it's not going to swing like that. Like
No.
it's just not. It's not going to swing because your hand is trembling or moving even a little bit. It takes a lot to swing a heavy pendulum.
And something that I've done that I might do like record or something, the pendulum over it's not a Ouija board, but essentially it would be considered one. But where it has letters and numbers and things like that, there would be words that I did not know. I would have to look up the meaning of the words. So that is when I was convinced that it was spirit and not me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
So, yeah, our pendulums were getting the same thing. They were incredibly strong and active.
Yeah.
Big swings, big circles, and just more and more and more confirmation that spirit was active and alive in that place. So
Hmm.
we said our thank yous and literally like 2.5 hours later packed it up finally.
Yeah.
Like we were in there for a long time
Yeah.
and it was insane.
Is it? Oh, there is this part where this walkway, where she said that the person had passed away, where the postcards. Do you remember the postcards?
Yes.
So the postcards, and you'll see some of this footage. She and I walked down this walkway at least two, three times. There were no postcards there. This is before Destiny got there. There were no postcards on the floor because we would have seen them and we would have picked them up. At one point, we're walking back through that way. There are postcards on the floor in the middle of the floor. And so you see her in the camera, like you see her picking it up and then placing it on this part I haven't told you yet. She places it on the counter right there. Okay. Counter right there. Do you remember where we found it at the end of the night?
No.
We found it where we were set up.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And she's like, she couldn't remember. She's like, did I place these here? And then I was like, I don't believe you placed them there. I remember you setting them down over, but I was like, but I don't remember because you can't rely on memory sometimes. And then I'm so happy that we caught footage of, because it's just in the corner that you see her placing it right there. And then I think I have footage of where it is next to her later.
And everything like that. Oh my God, here are the cards. That is. Did I leave them here?
I don't feel like you left them there. But
Yeah.
what?
Undeniable stuff happening over there for real. But I'm glad that it's a little quieter now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's not. Um, she doesn't like. She described it like not as like spooky, scary. Like I feel like someone's gonna get me, or
Yeah.
trying to get me intentionally. At least that's what I understood. But it's just it's very active.
Yeah.
So
For sure. She
that
didn't
makes
seem scared or
sense.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So true. What did you do to cleanse when you got home
Well, it's funny because
or
I
when
think,
you
had
left?
texted me. I think you texted me right when I was gonna hop into the shower. And and you said something like, remember, or you said something like, I made a blend with salts, with sea salt or something like that. I can't remember what you said.
Let me look.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look. And so I was like, oh, shoot, I forgot to bring my sea salt in here. I walk out of the restroom and literally right there in front of my face, because I also have ADHD and I leave things wherever, is my giant container of sea salt. And I was like, thank you, ADHD brain, in that moment. So,
I just said, if you have peppermint tea, I recommend drinking a cup before bed. Peppermint metaphysically is protective and cleansing. I don't know about you, but my cleansing rituals are carrying out all through the rest of the night. LOL. Just took a spiritually cleansing shower. And then you just said literally about to do that. LOL. And I said, now I'm wearing my onyx pendant and drinking peppermint tea before bed. Can never be too safe. And you said, oh, I love that. Thank you for the reminder.
yeah, yeah. So see, it was just in that moment where we had exchanged those text messages that I was like, oh, okay. And then I went and I got the salt. I was looking in my bathroom because if you all don't know, you have magic ingredients in your home right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was looking to see what I had, like what oils, what lotions and things that had certain properties and what my intention was. And so yes, I used the sea salt and I can't remember the blend. But yeah, that's what I did. And then I didn't do peppermint tea. I think I texted you later. I was like, does peppermint gum count? That's what I had.
I love it. I did a whole bunch of things because I was out of whack after that. I felt like I needed to recalibrate my system.
Mm-hmm.
I drank peppermint tea. I took a cleansing shower, which is just where like it's basically just a regular shower, but with more intention, right? That
Yes.
your intention is to wash away any connection or any lingering, negative feelings or whatever. Closing your spiritual doors, just like literally cleansing yourself as you would like a room or something with smoke.
Mm-hmm.
I lit incense. I carried around a giant chunk of obsidian and selenite.
Uh-huh.
I put it on my tea saucer. I went to bed with them next to me. I wore my onyx necklace and I used anointing oil. I
Mm-hmm.
was all hands on deck after I left there. Um, and I felt better. So
But
anyway, that
it
was
was quite the experience.
it was quite the
We
experience.
have
And
to
I
do a
can't wait
part
to go back
two.
there and go shopping. We do. The next time I go, it's going to be during the daytime so I can go shopping. Hopefully that tiger's eye pendant is still there that I saw.
Oh,
And the
that's right.
girl with the seashell dress.
Yeah, I meant to. I was like, I couldn't remember which one you had said because I was there today. I was like, I was gonna look, but I couldn't remember because we looked at so many things.
Oh yeah.
That's the funniest part of this is that Destiny and I are both thrifty gals.
Yes.
Um, and we were doing a paranormal investigation at an antique shop. Oh,
Why? That's like it's such a hard level. We were walking around and I was like, and it
I'm
would
putting
scare Heidi.
I'm putting a compilation of that together, by the
You
way.
are?
Yes, because every time Destiny would be like, and I was like, oh my God, what? And you're like, look at this cute little. And then
I
if
thought
it wasn't,
Melissa would love this. Oh my God,
yes.
I love this.
So if it wasn't
Look at
gasping, it was
this.
like, oh my God. Or something where my heart would pause and be like,
Yeah,
what is it?
like I just found a dead person on the floor, but it's just
Yeah.
a little figurine in a shell dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So we had to come up with a code word so I could stop scaring her. I had to say like
Yeah.
foot so she wouldn't get scared. Oh
It
my
was
God, you can't
better.
take me into any secondhand store and expect me to act right. I just can't. I just can't. I can't be normal in there.
I love it. That's
I love it
funny.
too. Oh, I wish I had endless money so I could just thrift my little heart away.
I know.
But I'll acquire the things slowly, I guess.
I guess.
Anyway, well, we did it again.
We did.
Another accomplishment. If you want to go there, what's the name of the shop?
Time Travelers Antique Mall in Springfield. It's off of Main Street, and I'll put all of that info below. We'll be tagging them on Instagram and things like that. They have a Facebook as well, so they're great. That place is great.
The prices are great too,
The
honestly.
prices are great. It just, if you know what you want, you can go there for, I don't know, half an hour. If you don't know what you want and you're like me, where you're like, I'm just gonna browse,
Yeah,
make sure you have time.
for real. If you are an expert dilly-dallyer,
Yes.
this is your place.
And then you might actually feel like something's calling to you in the most wonderful way. I can't wait to read this book. So,
Oh yeah, we need an update on the pod in a couple weeks
yeah.
on the book and how it's going.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get there. Anyways, thanks for tuning in for another week. And as always, remember that you
You
are the
are the
vessel
vessel
in
in
between.
between.
Toodaloo. See you next week.
Bye.